Chances are you've been struggling to sign on your first few clients, or maybe you're an agency that's struggling to sign on more clients for the simple fact that you just cannot make the sale. And just like myself, when I first started my agency, I had no sales experience or background, and I felt like I was booking an appointment, but I wasn't closing any of these deals, which was costing me a lot of money. And so in this video, I wanted to share with you guys my exact sales script that I've used personally to close over $1.5 million in revenue for my agency. This is the exact script. I'm gonna be going over the objections, what you need to be doing before, what type of questions that you need to be asking in order to position yourself as the expert and the solution to your prospects' problems. So this sales script is gonna, share exactly, we're gonna find out where the prospects' pain points are, where they're currently at, and then where they're trying to go and what their desires are. And the sales script just ties everything together. So I'm gonna dive right into it. And if you enjoyed this video, please drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It would really help out the video and the channel. And just shows me that, the appreciation for the gems that I'm dropping. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so I'm gonna be going over two sales scripts today. They're pretty similar, but I wanna go over both of them with you guys because they're just going to coincide with each other. You can kind of see the little tweaks and things like that. But inside the sales script here, the important parts for a successful sales call, okay? This is really important. You want to humanize the conversation. You want to have a normal conversation as if you're talking with a friend, right? Just laugh. Don't sound like a salesperson and talk like you're the boss in the company and you're actually confident in what you're able to do. So you're confident in being able to get the results. Act like you're the actual owner and boss. I've hired on salespeople in the past and, they're talking like they're not, there's no confidence, there's no conviction in what it is that they have to say and what they're saying, and the confidence is just not there. Connecting and developing a relationship. If you're unable to connect or develop some type of relationship with your prospect over the call or over your video Zoom call, you're not gonna make that sale. One of the most important things is being able to build that connection with your prospect, whether it's over the phone or video call. Losing all emotional baggage from the day, right? So take a step outside, take a walk, get some fresh air, but when you are hopping on a sales call, you need to literally be like a still tree. You don't wanna bring, any type of, anger, upsetting, or whatever you've gone throughout the day. You want to leave that outside the call. And if you need to take a walk, go ahead and do so before hopping on your sales call. Because when we're on a call, we want to have a good conversation. We want to be able to connect and develop that relationship with our prospect. So be energetic, be certain in whatever it is that you say, and genuinely shift your mindset from wanting to make a sale to wanting to help this person. And I think a lot of us, make the mistake of hopping on these sales calls trying to sell in order to close a deal. But if you can shift that mindset from, hey, I want to sell to this person, to, hey, how can I help this person? Your call is going to be a lot more productive, right? Because now you can really understand what it is that your prospect wants, and the deeper understanding that you can have with your prospect, the better you can position your solution, or the better that you can position your services as the solution to what it is that they want. So it's all about having a deep understanding of what exactly your prospect wants, right? So just coming from a good place, coming from a place with good energy. Obviously, just cut out all noise. You want to be in a quiet room, have good Wi-Fi, good headphones, and at the end of the day, guys, just have fun with it. It's okay. No matter what the outcome is, whether they decide to move forward with you or not, have fun with it and move on to the next call. So you want to have clarification questions. So if you never want to have prospects give you vague answers, and if they do at any time, just simply ask them, what do you mean by that? What do you mean with this? Can you be more specific with that? Why do you think that? And etc. Right? You really want to understand what the prospect is trying to tell you so that you can use that as ammunition for later on. The whole purpose of the sales call is to gather intel on what it is that your prospect wants so that you can prescribe a solution to what it is, where they're trying to go. So for example, what do you mean with financial issues? Are you waiting for like a payday, or you just don't have the funds right now? So the more specific that we can understand what their problem is, the better we can come up with a solution for them. So if they're having financial issues and they're just waiting for a payday, cool. So when we can dive in a little bit deeper into that. Okay, when is your next payday? And we can go from there. Or if they don't have the funds right now, is it just something that they're just not in a position to do this? Or do they want to do this? Are they able to get access to the funds? So these are things that we wouldn't be able to dive deeper into if we didn't ask that question. Happy tonality. You want to set the tone for the call. You want to raise their state as soon as they answer the call. Okay, it needs to be happy, happy, happy. You want to raise the state, okay? I see a lot of sales calls where, even myself, I've done it in the past too when, I first started. Hey, John, it's Jordan. How you doing? Good. Anyways, so you want to raise the bar, okay? Hey, John, how's it going today? My name is Jordan. And we had a scheduled call today, right? So raise the bar, laugh, smile while you're on the call with these prospects, okay? So from there, now that we have our pre-ritual set up, just knocked out, now we can finally get into the actual call. So in the beginning of the call, it's gonna be an introduction. You wanna build a little rapport, right? Make some quick small talk. You can ask, where are you calling from today? And really this whole point of building some rapport is to make the call more humanizing and less salesy. Anytime you are trying to sell to someone or someone is feeling like they are being sold to, they're gonna have their guards up, and no one likes being sold to, right? If they want to buy something, they'll go out and buy it. But if you're walking through like Costco or something and you see these people on the side just waiting for people to walk by, like, hey, you want to check out the TVs or something? Most of the time, you're not really interested, right? But so the whole point of call is to just humanize the conversation. So for example, hey John, it's Jordan from JLE Media. How are you doing today? Great. Where are you calling from? Okay, cool. I'm over here in Orange County, Southern California. So not a little bit of a ways from you, but yeah. So something like that would do, right? So it's gonna be about 2 minutes in that little intro part. Totally cool, humanize, maybe develop a little bit of a connection there. The next step that you want to do is transition into the actual call now. So this one-liner is a perfect way to just transition that. Great, so what made you want to schedule a call with me today? And this line is really powerful because not only are we transitioning that introduction, hey, like where are you calling from, into the actual call now, but we are framing this call as if they are reaching out to us for help, not the other way around. And that needs to be the mindset for both you and your prospect. They need to understand that they are reaching out to you as the expert for help and not you reaching out to them and trying to sell to them, okay? So we are here to help you. And when you ask that question, it's gonna frame it as if they're reaching out to us, not the other way around. And that needs to be that little mindset tweak is so powerful because now we're helping them lower their guard, and we don't do it in like some sort of evil way. It's more so because we are prepping them in order for us to get a better understanding of their business and what they're looking to do. Because a lot of time, prospects are not going to be 100% completely honest and tell you what it is that they need. So you need to be able to prep them in order to get that information from your prospects. So as we transition into the sales call now, we can start going into our discovery questions. This is where we start asking probing questions to have a deep understanding of where your prospect is currently at, what their pain points are, and where they're trying to go. What are their desires? What is it exactly that they want, and why can't they get there? Okay, what's stopping them from getting to their desires? And we can only do that by asking discovery questions. So this part of the call, our goal is to find the pain points, and we want to hammer on those pain points because it's not working, so that we can position our service as the solution later on in the call. So always reiterate what they say. It just shows that you are listening and you actually understand their problems. So at any point when we find out what their pain points are, we really want to make the prospect realize that, hey, that is a problem and we need to change that. Right? So for example, if we figure out that prospect has been running Facebook ads and they're not generating good quality leads, we need to really hammer on that, right? So we would say something along the lines of, yeah, I mean, Facebook ads, it doesn't really generate quality leads, or do you feel that Facebook ads doesn't generate high quality leads, and then you're making them realize, yeah, you know what, Facebook, it's not great for generating high quality. So you want to just hammer on that portion. So when we start asking discovery questions, it's really simple. We're just out here trying to figure out what it is that they're currently doing, okay? So you can ask, awesome, so what are you currently doing as far as marketing, right? We're trying to get a feel for what their current situation is, what's been working for them, what's not been working, okay? They're gonna tell you whatever it is, how's that been going? So now you wanna ask, how's that been going? And then why do you think that's not working? This is where we are causing pain. This is for us to help them realize that what they're doing isn't getting them to where their goals is, okay? So we need to figure out what they're doing and then see if they admit that something isn't working, and then you want to hammer on that because you want to realize that they're comfortable and stuck doing this, but it's not moving them forward closer to their goals. So you need to explain to them that if they keep doing whatever that isn't working, then they're going to continue wasting their time and money. So I would ask, okay, so let's say, we ask them, hey, what are you currently doing as far as marketing? Yeah, we're doing Google ads, Facebook ads, whatever it is. We can ask them, how much have you spent? How many leads did that generate you? Would you say that those leads were high quality? Were those the type of leads that you wanted? Why or why not? Why do you think that those weren't the leads that you wanted, okay? What kind of leads are you looking for? So what kind of jobs, clients are you specifically looking to get? Which services are you looking to advertise? So these are questions where we're really trying to get digging deep to have an understanding of what it is that the prospect wants exactly. So that way we can prescribe a solution. So how many clients, or depending on what type of niche you're in, right? How many clients, patients, customers, cases, jobs can you handle per month? How many new, okay? We want to get a feel for what their threshold is. Maybe they're a newer company. Oh, you know what? We can only take on maybe 5 clients. Or maybe it's a bigger company. Oh, we're looking to, get 10, 30, maybe 40 to 50 new clients this month. So getting a feel for that, we can then come up with some type of game plan strategy to help get them there. And then what is like your monthly revenue goal? Oh, we want to get to $100,000 per month. Okay, what is your current monthly revenue at right now? Oh, we're doing about $30,000 per month. Got it. So you're currently at $30,000 per month and you wanted to get to $100,000 per month. Is that correct? So that's an example of reiterating what they said so that they know that you are listening and have a clear understanding of what it is that they want. And that's just going to help us, understand how ambitious this person is as well, and where they're at, and how much skin they can be in the game. Okay, so it tells me their experience. If they're doing larger numbers, and obviously they're a company that's more experienced, probably better with sales, and I can start getting a feel on what the client journey will be like if we were to work together, right? If it's a more new company, then we might have some more trainings and more advice and tips that I might want to give to the client to have a better experience with ads. If they are more established, then they probably have some systems set up where they can start intaking more leads and all that good stuff. And then great, so what would be your goals, expectations if we were to work together? Oh, my last marketing company, we didn't have great communication, there was no reporting, whatever they might say. So just getting a feel, we want to lay the foundations and make sure things are really clear, and just have really clear expectations from each other. And then from here, lastly, you just want to bridge the gap. So you gathered all this intel and you asked all these questions. So by now you should know where they're currently at, what they've been doing, what has worked, what hasn't worked, and then where they're trying to go and how much can they handle. Along with that, why haven't they been able to get to where they want to be at too? So now we can position our services as a solution, and then we can bridge that gap from point A to point B, where they're currently at to where they want to go. So I'll say something along the lines of, hey, my team and I'll say something along the lines of, actually, great, based off what you're telling me, this is exactly what we can do for you. We can help you out. My team and I have managed over $8 million in ad spend. It's closer to $10 million now. So we know what works and what doesn't, so that you can skip the learning curve. Based off what you're telling me, this is exactly what we do and can definitely help you out with. And you need to sound confident that you can help them, okay? If you're just kind of like reading off the script and there's no like tonality changes, no confidence in what you're saying, no conviction, chances are they're not gonna move forward. So you wanna sound confident. So from what it sounds like, you're having trouble with this. So you're having trouble with this and you're trying to go here. So this is what we're going to do. So we would build a campaign to get you X, Y, Z. So for example, from what it sounds like, you're having trouble with running Facebook ads because it's not generating you high quality leads. So what we're going to do is make the switch over to Google ads instead, because Google is going to, generate you more higher intent, leads, whatever it is. Okay, so that's the solution. That's what they want. And so that's kind of an example of what that is. And here's another example. From what it sounds like, you're having trouble with lead quality. You said that the leads who called in were out of state, couldn't afford, not the type of jobs you wanted, not the type of leads you wanted, whatever reason it is. So what we would do is, and then your solution, okay? Does that sound good? And then from here, they might ask, how does it work or whatever, or, how does your system work, right? So we would build a campaign. When you go and explain your services, you don't want to make the mistake of explaining everything. You don't want to make it complicated for the prospect, because the more questions that they ask, the more held back they are from moving forward. So when you go and present your solution, I would keep it vague. And if they want to dive in a little bit deeper, I would still keep it vague. I don't want to go into all the nitty gritty of how things work and the setup and this is how that works. Like we're not giving them a crash course on how, digital marketing works, okay? And the more you try to teach them this stuff, they're going to be more confused. And if they're confused, they're not gonna wanna move forward, okay? So just explain the basics, all right? So we would build you a campaign, landing pages, and give you access to call tracking so that you'll be able to track all the phone calls that we generate for you. Everything is gonna be trackable and measurable. Does that sound good? Yep, sounds good. Okay, so one of the questions I like to ask, okay, so they might ask more questions like, how long does it take to get started? We tell them it takes about a week. What I like to say, as far as transitioning into getting some sort of commitment on just kind of framing it as if we're working together, I would say something along the lines of, when were you looking to not get started, but when were you looking to get your campaign going? Okay, so that is the question I like to ask. And then that's gonna give me a feel for how serious they are. If they say, I'm looking to get started ASAP, right? That's a clear sign that this person is ready to get rolling. Cool, let's get started. They might say something along the lines of, I gotta talk to I gotta talk to my team, I got this, that, excuses, whatever. So let me get back to you in a week or whatever. Okay, cool. So this is gonna give us this question is gonna tell us how committed they are to their campaign. When were you looking to get your campaign going, okay? And this is just gonna, like I said, it's gonna see how committed they are into getting things going. Now they might say something along the lines of, in about a week or so. Perfect, great. So it actually takes us about a week to, build out your campaign and things like that. So if we move forward today, we can actually get your campaign ready to go within that week so that we can just have it ready to go live whenever you are. So that's the other reason why I like to ask this question too, is so if they do need time for whatever reason, they want to wait out 1 week, well, it's going to take us, or 1 to 2 weeks, it's going to take us one to 1.5 weeks anyways to build out that campaign. Okay, so eventually they're going to want to ask, what is the pricing? Okay, I don't ever tell them my pricing until they are ready to ask for it. Okay, so let them ask what your pricing is, and that's usually at the end of the call, always. Okay, so pricing sounds good. What is your pricing? Okay. And anytime that you give your pricing, don't say anything after that. Literally stay quiet. Don't say another word until they say a word, okay? So prospect will ask, okay, great, sounds good. How does it work? How much do you charge, okay? Okay, great. So we charge $1,500 per month for management and a one-time setup fee of $500. And then don't say anything, okay? It might take a minute, it might take 2 minutes, but let them think about it. Okay, don't start saying, oh, and by the way, we also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you move forward today, we'll drop the pricing from $1,500 to $1,000, or we'll just waive the setup fee if you're on the fence. Okay, don't say nothing. Give out your pricing and then let them think about it. Don't say anything. Okay, and then they may want to negotiate whatever. They might say, great, works for me most of the time, and then you should be good from there. And if they don't have any other questions, they would say, great, what is the next step? How do we get started? And that's where I say, awesome, I'm going to send you 2 forms right now, right after the call. The first one will be a proposal, via hello sign, DocuSign, whatever you want to use. And the second form is the onboarding form, which you can fill out your business information so that my team can build out your campaign. Once we get both forms back, then we'll start building your campaign, which will take about 1 week to complete. I like to say 1 to 1.5 weeks to complete, okay? That is what I like to say. 1 to 1.5 weeks to complete. And like I said, that is to buy time. Now, depending on, you gotta gauge their interest level, right? If they're like, hey, like I'm ready to move forward right now, like let's get things rolling. You can just say, hey, you know what? I can actually onboard you right now. Like I'm gonna go ahead and send you, what's the card that you would like to put on file, okay? What's the name on the card? Cool, what's the number, security code, and boom, you can onboard the prospect over the call. Typically, what I like to do is I'll send over the forms, and usually if they say they're gonna move forward, they'll move forward. But for some of you guys, if you guys are beginners and you guys want to practice the sales and just collecting card information over the phone, that's totally fine too. If they're ready to move forward, like right now, and you sense that, just go ahead and take card information over the phone and then onboard them right there and then. And then just send the onboarding form over to their email and just ask, hey, did you get the form, okay? Closing out, answer any final questions they may have. And this is the question that I like to really ask here is, because I'm sending out the forms, I like to ask, do you know when you will get both of the forms back to me? And then they're gonna say, oh, I'll get it back later today, or I'll get it back tomorrow, or by the end of this week. And this is gonna it's gonna give me a timeline on when I can expect to receive that back, number one. And then number two, just so that we know what to expect, so that we can prioritize our workload or maybe have a team ready to onboard that client, right? And then also gets commitment on the other end too, because if they say that they're gonna get the forms back on a certain day, chances are they will get it back to you. But if you don't ask this question, it's kind of like we don't know when they're gonna get back to us. Right, so that's why I like to ask that question, and just making sure that we're getting some type of verbal agreement on when they're gonna get that information over to us. And then I'll just say, great, we look forward to get the ball rolling for you. Talk to you soon. Take care. And then we just wait for the forms to get back to us. And like I said, you can always onboard them right on that call. Objections and questions. I mean, you can go through all of this and go through there and kind of take a look at that. What I wanted to cover was the other sales call here, and it's very similar. I'm just gonna scroll through this one, but it's almost like exactly the same, to be honest with you. I think the only difference is it's just some more objections that you can look at, and that's just kind of like good practice on how to overcome some of the objections that they give you. But other than that, everything else is really the same. I think the first sales script that we went through is much more in depth, so just go ahead and use the first one. But yeah, I mean, this one looks like it has a few other objections here and some options for what you can say. But this is exactly the sales script that I've been using, and it has closed millions of dollars. I think we're approaching $2 million now in closing deals using this same sales script. So just giving it to you out there, and I would really appreciate it if you showed some love on this video. Drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.